Today I'm just going to check all the propane lines and the appliances that are hooked up to propane to see how well they work. Previous owner did have the stove out to do some repairs on it. I guess the hinge on the door was broke, but it should be no problem connecting it back up. There's the nut, and it'll just attach here. I'll just put a little bit of gas tape on and tighten her up. Okay, I put on a full propane tank. I'm just going to check the line for any leaks. Actually, I should have cracked that open a little slower. It could create an air bubble in the line. So now I've just got a solution of soapy water. And then I'll just go down all the connections and see if it makes any bubbles. Don't see any bubbling here. So I'll just have to follow the line down and check every connection. This is the metal, I think it's about 3/4 inch tubing coming down. Doesn't appear to be any leaks at that joint. There's that line that I just rehooked back up to my stove and oven. I don't see anything coming off of it. There's the connection for my water heater. I don't see any bubbles on it. So there should be no leaks there. I'm probably not going to test the water heater today. The weather got cold here again, so I don't want to put any water in the system in case it freezes. Actually, I've weighed it just a bit, and it does look like there's a bubble forming just at the bottom of that brass connector. So there is a very slow, there, you saw it just go there now. So I should tighten that up a bit. Now it appears what they've done is they've just run a separate line up for each appliance through the floor. So I've got one coming up, this goes to the fridge, this one comes up through the floor, goes to the heater, and this is on the curb side under the sink. So this one here comes up through the floor, that goes to the stove and oven. This one here goes over to the water heater. Okay, coming up through the floor, this is the one going to my heater, my furnace. Looks like they've got a shut-off valve in the line. See all this corrosion here. These will all have to be loosened and cleaned. But I'll just give it a spray. Again, this is just a soapy water solution. Keep an eye on that for a few minutes and just see if there's any bubbling. Actually, this might be shut off right now, so let's... I believe that should be open. This in line with your propane line. There's the connection right at the heater. Again, it's got corrosion on it, so they'll have to be taken off and checked. But for right now, I just want to check to see if there are any propane leaks. I'm also using my nose. I don't detect any odor of propane here right now. Like nothing overpowering. Okay, I've been in the trailer here for about 15 minutes. I don't smell any gas. We'll just test the so right front. Here I got flame on there. Right rear. Got something on there. Let's try the left rear. Something on there, and there's the front. Now this, I see that we've got a flicker here. That might be for the oven. I'm not quite sure. I haven't read the instructions yet. It looks like it goes down and that'll start the oven somehow. Now I'm looking at all these flames. They appear pretty clean. So at least we know the stovetop is working. Checking out each flame. It's burning nice and blue. So they're all working pretty good. Now here's the oven control. I notice it's got off and then pilot off. So there's pilot off. Now we'll just look inside. So I've taken off, there's a cover plate you can take off here. Now down here, this looks to be the burner tube. This looks to be the pilot. Now there is a wire coming in, so there might be an electronic ignition. I'll have to read the instructions to figure that out. But for now, I'll just light it with a match. So I'm not sure. I'm just going to take its pilot off. I'll just put that to off. Okay, so now I've slipped the pilot off. Now I've just turned that knob to the off position. Now I'm sure there's an electronic ignition on it. I'm not sure where it is, so we'll just take a match to that right now. And boof, there we go. Should be able to see that blue flame there, right there. So that should be the pilot. Now I'll take my light out of here and I'll go back to the oven switch, which is up here. Here's my oven switch, and I will turn it to a higher temperature, and we'll see if that burner there lights. Something's happening. Okay, now this may not be lighting just because I've got that top thing off, so I'm going to back it off there a bit. I think with the cover on here, it keeps the gas down. If it's shooting out of here, it would catch quicker. Right now it's dispersing too much. So there, when I turn it up, that pilot gets bigger. Now they've also got a B position. I don't know what that means on the knob. Okay, I'm going to go back and read the instructions on this. For right now, I go put that to pilot off. That pilot should burn out. My guess is that bigger flame, there should be a thermocouple there, and once it reaches a certain temperature, it should turn on the gas for this big tube here. I'll just sit and wait. Oh, there we go. Awesome. Not sure if it should come out the other side. Looks like it does have the vents. We'll just wait a while and see what happens here. I've got the oven knob here cranked right up. B could be, I don't know, for broil. I don't think this would have a broiler in it. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to close the oven door. I'm thinking once it gets up to a certain heat that this other side here will kick in. Otherwise my biscuits will only be half baked. Here we are a couple minutes later. Both sides are going. Flame appears to be pretty clean. You get the odd orange flicker coming up, but I think that's normal. So I guess just depending on, so there's a thermostat in there, and depending on the temperature you want, it's going to adjust the flame as needed. So the only thing I have to figure out on this now is how that electronic ignition, if there is one, how it works. So I've got the oven at 550 degrees. I'm going to slowly turn that down. So now I've got it to 140. My guess would be air. There we go. And if I turn it up higher, whoops, I'm getting some smoke here. Turn it up higher, it starts to kick in again. And again, I'd probably have to shut the door for that other one to kick in. Or just wait a few minutes. Yeah, my guess is I have to shut the door there for it to get hot enough for the thermocouple or whatever it is to activate the gas on that other side. There, I shut the door for about 30 seconds, opened it up, and you see that other side kicked in. So now we'll shut the oven off. There's the oven off. Pilot is still on. Go to pilot off. Pilot is off.